Hi and welcome to Polly Puts the Colour On. Get to film my favourite video to do each month of my completed pages. So this is my completed pages for November. Now I feel like I've said this the last few months, but I really have no idea how I've managed to get this amount done. Like early on in the month, it wasn't a huge amount. I did have quite a lot of whips though. And then somehow, yeah, as you can see here, I do really like this visual tracker. So this is the Amanda Colours planner, but the undated one. As you can see, I did start it in September because I didn't want to wait for January. And also, I wasn't quite sure whether I'd get into using one. So I thought if it was undated, that might be better for me. But actually, yeah, I'm going to stick with using it. But anyway, I digress. So you can see I've got a huge amount done. I did do multiple pages in some books because I did like some title pages and things, as you'll see in a bit. So in November, I managed to do 28 pages. Like I say, some of them were kind of title pages and like really quick and simple ones, but technically it was 28 pages. 4 of them were buddy colours, so a lot less buddy colours this month. Took part in kind of 3 prompts kind of / challenges, and I've got 21 uncoloured books remaining. I did manage to colour in quite a few uncoloured books, if we flip to this bit. So I did colour in 10 books that were uncoloured. So I did manage to get the number down a little bit, but then as you can see, I did purchase a few books, got a couple secondhand off Vinted, got Johanna Basford's new one, and then finally had my first YouTube payment come through. It was kind of built up over a few months because of how YouTube does it. You've got to earn a certain amount in a month, and anyway, and I put a little bit to it. But I got 2 of the Clara Markova books that I hadn't got yet. So absolutely thrilled to have those in my collection. So I do want to do a video about those at some point. So yeah, 4 buddy colours, 3 prompts challenges, 28 pages, 21 different books and 21 uncoloured books remaining. It's funny how they're the same number. And on Instagram, I gained 126 new friends, which surprised me because I have posted on Instagram, but I'm not always the best at keeping up to date with it, I must say. I tend to find if we're on a long car drive that I'll think, oh, right, okay, I'll sit and do my posting now. So you might find I don't post anything for like a week or 2, and then all of a sudden there's like 10 posts in a day. But that is the best place to get hold of me if you want to message about buddy colours and things, is on Instagram. And then on YouTube, gone from 1,205 up to 1,298. So that's 93 new friends as of recording this. So yeah, welcome everybody that's new. And obviously if you're watching this, maybe you're a regular viewer, but you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, please do. It does make a big difference to channels. And, the same goes for anybody else that you watch regularly, but you haven't actually subscribed to. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does really help channels to grow and reach more people. So as you can see, I've technically got 1 whip that I'm probably going to carry over into the new year, because in December, I do want to really try and focus on my kind of Christmas wintry colouring. So I'll just slip this to the side and I'll start with my buddy colours first, because that's what I try to do, especially because it makes it a little bit easier for my husband, who does my video editing, which is very kind of him. It's a bit easier for him if it's all at the start. So my first buddy is from Rita Berman's Asia book, and it's with All J Art on Instagram and YouTube. So I'll link her down below. Go and check her out. She's absolutely wonderful. So did this page here, and I'm absolutely thrilled with how it turned out. Very different kind of colour palette, quite soft and muted. Used my Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils for these, trying to keep it relatively cohesive. I think I kind of started with the window, because I kind of had a vision of how I wanted the mountains and things to look, and then I kind of started bringing those colours out, adding a couple more colours in, like for the curtains, and bringing those out. And yeah, just trying to keep it kind of limited. I kept my pencils in my little pouch that I tend to keep on my desk for projects that I'm working on. So yeah, really pleased with how it turned out. I used some watercolour paint on some of the shiny bits that you can see. And it was, let me double check what brand it was. It was just my cheap Temu paint, actually. Temu, I always butcher how you say it. Bit of white gel pen, But yeah, love how this came out, lovely and sparkly, and yeah, just really pretty. And I'll show my buddies page here. So as you can see, our two pages turn out so differently. Like hers is just so rich and deep and just like really cozy vibes. Like you can imagine being on that train maybe for a long journey, getting really comfy in those chairs. And yeah, absolutely love how she tackled the page. And that's a great thing with buddy colours, isn't it? You start with the same page, might have a very different vision, and yeah, they just turn out so differently, but both so cool. So yeah, that was my page completed in Rita Berman's Asia book, which is nice because I've not done a huge amount in that one so far. I think I've done that one, which was a colour along by My Colourful Country Life. I think I changed a couple of colours, but it's pretty much all her colour scheme. And then I think the only other one I've done is this one that I did in September, which I really don't like, but technically at least the title page is done. So I'm really pleased to have a page that I'm really proud of done in this book, because it is such a pretty book. So yeah, that was Rita Berman's Age book. Obviously, I will link as many books as I can down in the description below as well. There will be Amazon affiliate links, but it won't cost you anything extra to purchase that way. So my next buddy is from this gorgeous, I always call it the Japanese bunny book, because I always forget to translate it, and I should really translate it and write it inside the cover, but I'm sure you all recognise it. It's such a cute book. My daughter's actually asked for a copy for Christmas as well, because she's kind of looked through some of mine and gone, oh, it's just so cute, look at the bunnies. So this is a buddy with somebody over on Instagram. They've actually done the double page. I haven't. I kind of did consider it while I was working, but kind of didn't get time. So hopefully, one day that other page will be done. But this is the page that we did here. So as you see, I did go quite boring, as my husband said. He looked at it and he was like, oh, that's not very exciting. I was like, yeah, but that's kind of what I was going for. I was going for like a vintage, quite minimal kind of colour palette. Just kind of letting the image speak for itself. So I based everything with Tombow water brush markers, actually, with my Tombow pens, and it's not come through, which is great. So yeah, based absolutely everything, and then a little bit of pencil shading and a little bit of gel pen, as you can see from some of the sparkle. And there's not much more to say about that, to be honest. It was just really relatively quick and simple. I think I based it right at the start of the month, but then didn't get around to shading it and finishing off until like literally the end of the month. It was one of those, it was on my shelf and I thought, I'll do that at some point. It won't take me long. And then, yeah, it didn't take me long. It just took me a while to get around to it. So thank you for my buddy to for their patience. But yeah, really pleased with how it came out, and it's great to have a page done in there. So I will share my buddy's page here, and it is Crafty Caswell over at Instagram. And their page, again, so different than mine. I just love how they've managed to make it look as if it's actual stitching. I think that's so clever how they've done that. Like, I just coloured it as if it's just the normal part on the image, but they've really put the time and effort in, and as you can see, it's really paid off, because it does look like it's actual stitching. I think it's just fabulous what they've done. So yeah, big thank you to that buddy for helping me get another page done in this, because the only other ones I've done was a double page spread, but it was the ones just right at the start of the book. I think it's literally the first year. When I got it, I thought, right, I'll do those first couple, work out colours for the bunnies, which I have written down in case I want to use it again. But yeah, that's the only other bit I've done in that book, so it's nice to get back into that one. So then we've got my third buddy colour, which is with Kate over at Kate's Colouring Pages. Again, I will link her YouTube channel down below if you want to go and check her out. She's got some lovely videos, and she's not been on YouTube for too long, so it would be great if you went and showed her some love. So we did a page out of Catitude by Camilla Derrico. Absolutely love this book. I love all of Camilla Derrico's books, because you can just really do a page relatively quick and simple and just have a great deal of fun doing it. So the page we decided on was this one here with the cat that got all soggy in the rain. Now, very different colour choices here. I don't quite know what I was thinking, but I just, when you just want to sit and play, I just wanted to sit and play. So I realised that I'd picked these Crayola Super Tip pastel pens up kind of in July, I think it was. I've not really used them a great deal. So I thought, tell you what, I know this book works well with water-based markers. As you can see, it hasn't gone through. And I thought, oh, I didn't want to colour it just one colour. So I just kind of picked a few colours and just kind of splodged colours about. Went in with a bit of gel pen to add a bit of texture on the fur. Let me double check whether I think it was chalk pastel I used in the background. I do need to double check my notes because I did do this one quite early on in the month. Yeah, it was chalk pastels for the background, I thought it was. And then stickles on the puddles. So that's all that glitter you can see with stickles that I put on and then smudged out with my finger. And then I used glossy accents on the eyes as well. So kind of chucked a lot of different things at this page, but it didn't actually take too long. But I remember when I showed my daughter this page, I was like, oh, don't judge me on the colours. I thought I'd just go for like a crazy kind of looking cat. She looked and she was like, yeah, trouble is though, some of the colours you've picked makes it look as if it's a bit bald in places, like it's lost its fur and it's just its skin you can see. And I was like, true. I'd not really seen it that way. But kind of once she'd mentioned it, I couldn't really unsee it. But equally, I thought I didn't want to go in and change the colours. So, that's what we're going with. So I'll share my buddies page here. Again, Kate has tackled the page so differently than how I did mine. Which again, the great thing with buddy colours. And yeah, just lovely vibrant colours that she's gone for. And yeah, obviously some similarities with the blue, but yeah, her cat obviously turned out very differently. But yeah, such a fun book to colour in. Do you want to get back into this book again next year? I've done that one so far. But yeah, I do really want to try and get these done. I'm thinking next year I might try and take part in Jess's over at Colouring Bumblebee's tag of tackling the title pages, because this would obviously kind of count for that, wouldn't it? Because that might be a nice thing to work on next year. But keep a lookout for my 2026 plan video once I've decided what my plans are for 2026, that is. But I should be sharing that before the end of the year, which is obviously fast approaching. So then we've got Alan Roberts' The Beauty of Horror, Guliana's Sanctuary for Monsters. And it wasn't a full, well, technically it is a full page that we've done. It isn't too gory, but I will let you know once I'm not showing this anymore, in case you don't like a little bit of gore. But I'm really pleased with how this came out. So previously, with the same buddy, actually, we did this page, and then we decided on this page, because we're like, fancy doing a buddy colour, but I was like, I can't commit to doing, a full page, especially as I kind of want to tackle each character through the book and work my way through the characters and then start to, kind of fill in the pages. But this one obviously is kind of standalone, so I thought, oh, great. So I used my Prismacolor pencils for this, and then went in with some gel pens for details. I think the blue on that kind of box coffin thing was acrylic markers. And I remember I kind of started with the scorpion being blue, and then thought, right, instead of doing a red kind of flower, I'll bring the blue over there to balance that. Did the heart, and obviously brought those colours over there. Kind of came up with, I think it was this bit I did next, actually. So I kind of got these bits and that, and I think I did that jar, but I hadn't done this bit or that bit, and I couldn't decide what other colours to bring in. So I've never done it before, but I took a photo on my phone and then put it into chat GPT on my phone and went, suggest some colours for the remaining elements on the page. I'll just do it, see what it comes up with, because I don't know what to do. And then it suggested, how about teals? How about purples? And I thought, oh, actually, yes, that's a good idea. It was like I say, I think I'd got those bits done, the heart, but not the actual jar. And I don't think I'd coloured that, and I definitely hadn't coloured that vase. So that kind of made me add in the purple and then go in with the teal bits. And then I thought, actually, to balance it, I'll bring a bit of blue in the middle. So that was kind of the process for that. So I would suggest that, actually, if you've coloured most of the page and then you're not sure what to do, yeah, put it into chat Chat GPT. It's a mouthful to say, isn't it? And that might give you some good suggestions, because I was pleasantly surprised actually, and it broke it down into, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could do that. There was a bit too much information, but I kind of skimmed through and thought, oh, actually, yeah, teals and purples, yeah, I'll give that a go. I like that idea. And yeah, really pleased with how it came out. So it didn't take too long, especially because I, used the same colours in different points across. But yeah, really pleased with how that came out with my Prismacolors and, like I say, with some gel pens. Now, I haven't got my buddies page as of yet. I'm sure it's going to look absolutely stunning. So when I do get it through, obviously I can add it in. So I'll add it in here if it does come through before I finished editing the video, and if not, I can always share it in next month's video. But yeah, it was a pleasure again doing another buddy colour. So I know these books aren't kind of everybody's cup of tea. I'm hoping to work in it a little bit more next year. Like I say, I want to try and work on the characters. So, we'll see what that plan kind of looks like in my 2026 plans, but hopefully this book will feature a bit more next year, because it is gorgeous and it would be lovely to one day, many years from now, to have it finished. So you can look back now, because I'm going to move that out of the way. So that's all my buddy colours, and then this is the only kind of proper whip that I've got carrying on into next year. So it's Flora by Maria Troll. So if you've seen my latest Winging It Wednesday video, you will have seen me working on this, where these two were coloured. Well, that butterfly was coloured, and then there was kind of a flower that was coloured kind of bright, quite a bright red. And there was a butterfly down there, but that one wasn't coloured. So I couldn't decide quite how to cover it up. I thought, do we use acrylic markers? And I thought, actually, let's try a bit of collage. So I borrowed some paper off my daughter. She's very kind. She's got a lot of art supplies and she doesn't mind sharing, bless her. So it's a slightly different pattern for a butterfly, but, I thought we'll go with it. And kind of, I'm thinking some of the colours that are in kind of the butterfly, I'll maybe bring into the bird to try and balance it out, but we'll see. But yeah, I won't be getting back to this page probably until January, because I want to focus on my Christmas and festive colouring, so that one will go away until next year. But it would be lovely to get that done, because I have had this book for a few months now. So then I thought I'll share the pages that technically were finished at the end of October. It's just the fact that I had actually already recorded my October completed pages video, and finished a couple of pages like right at the end of the month. I think this one was finished on the 30th. So as you can see, I did use a colour palette from Elm Colours. So I did swatch them out. I've written them down so that I can keep this safe, because I think it is quite a pretty colour palette that could work any time of the year. So that was with my Ohuhu markers. And then that's literally all I used on this page. Just my Ohuhu markers. And then I've not even done any shading, no gel pen or anything. Just went with the markers and looked at it and thought, I don't know what else to do. So I've just left it at that. So it was actually relatively quick to do, especially with having the colour palette. I kind of started with the skull and did those bits, and then kind of looked at the colours that were left kind of for the skin. And I thought, well, if I do the grey, it's going to blend into the hair. I didn't want to make them kind of purple or light. I mean, it's not bright pink, but it is quite vibrant, isn't it? So I thought, actually, that might be quite a nice colour for the skin. And then, yeah, it just kind of went from there. Obviously, picked the colours for the rats, and yeah, just kind of played about with it a bit. So it's not the best page, but actually I did have a lot of fun colouring it. I'm really pleased that I used this colour palette as well. So big thank you to Elm Colours there for coming up with those colour palettes for us. Yeah, it was nice to get a page coloured in this book. Yeah, it was one I picked up in the summer when I was on holiday. Absolute bargain. I think it's my second Mythagoria one, and the other one I bought as well when I was on holiday. And again, that one was a bargain. Other than that, I don't have, really Mythagoria or mythographic books, because they're a bit detailed for me. But for $5, I couldn't pass it up. So I was really pleased to get a page done in that one. So another book that I did technically finish working on in the end of October was the Fuzzy Huga one. So I'd already done this one, which I realised I forgot to date. Actually, I have to date that one at some point. But then I did do this one here. So I have written down on a post-it note in the front colours for the bear, the bunny, the puppy, the kitty, and then I think I came up with the colour for the fox when I was colouring this page. So I kind of coloured the characters first, and then just picked some cute colours for the blankets and things. So that was a quick one to do. Like I said at the start, I think that's one reason I did get quite a few done, is because I did do a few that were relatively quick and simple, like that one. But then I did do this one, which was a bit more of a full page. So we kind of flipped through. To be honest, I kind of didn't notice so much to start with that it was such a wintry page when I started it. I kind of saw the blankets, the hot drinks, the socks, the fireplace, and thought, ooh, that looks nice and cozy. Started colouring it and then went, oh, the stockings, there's a Christmas tree. There's, the little boots by the fireplace. So it's obviously a bit more of a Christmassy page. Done at the end of October, but, I don't mind. So as you can see, I did add some simple little highlights. Not the best, I'm still getting to grips with that, but it was nice to add a few little highlights around with my markers, some white gel pen for a few details, and then as you can see, did use one of the Langwo fine pens, just add a few dots around the fireplace as well, and just kind of took the black line off the edge there. So that one was a quick one to do. Did that while I was downstairs chatting with my daughter, and I think she was playing Sims or something at the time. But yeah, really pleased with how that came out, and it's cute because you can kind of just see the paws of the characters. And I know my daughter looked and she went, "You've not finished colouring there," and I went, "Yeah, but I think that's the paw of the puppy." Or at least that's what I decided it was. And I was like, that's how I'm colouring kind of their front paws. I was like, that's kind of why I've left it like that. And she was like, right, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that was a really fun one to do. So yeah, 2 pages done in that one. And then the other one that I got done at the end of October was another cute and cozy one. Kind of just sat, I think it was literally it was on Halloween during the day. We were going out in the evening, but sat chilling at home with my daughter in the day. I thought, I'll do a couple of cute and cozy ones. So I gave her the book actually and asked her to pick one out for this one. So she did this one. And I absolutely love how it came out. So again, all alcohol markers, my Ohuhu markers, bit of white gel pen, and then went in with some Langwo pens over some of the black lines here on the mountains, and then as you can see for the stars, took some of the lines out and then added some dots around as well there with the gel pens. So yeah, really pleased with how that came out. Really relatively quick and simple. I mean, it did take a while doing the sky because I think I did a couple of coats on that, but yeah, really pleased with that. It's a really cute page, and yeah, it's a really sweet book. And I think the only other bit I've done in this book was those there. So technically it wasn't an uncoloured book, but kind of, that was the colour test page. So this was kind of my first sort of proper page in this book. So it was nice to get into the Cosy Escapes Colouring Book Cafe there. So I think that is the last one that was kind of technically done in October. So then we are on to the ones that I did do in November. So let me just get those ready for you. So the next page I've got to share with you is from Cozy Eras by Jade Summer, and it's a page that I did on livestream. Now it is very bright and garish. I did use a colour palette for this out of my practical colour combinations, but I'm not sure if I've still there. No, I haven't got the page tagged, but it was a very bright colour palette that I picked kind of on purpose. So just thought, the disco vibes, it needed brightness. So as you see, I did try and add a bit of a glow up there from the glitter ball, and then down here with I kind of imagined that this was a lit up floor. and added a bit of a glow onto their clothes. Not the best, but you know, I'm getting more confident at having a go with adding the glows on. So that's kind of, I'm happy with that. And hopefully, you know, keep practicing, keep trying, and it'll get better and better. So yeah, very bright, but I've had a lot of fun doing this. It's always fun doing pages and live streams and chatting with people. So I do normally stream every Monday evening. And they're also there to watch back afterwards if you don't manage to catch it live. So as you can see, I did use alcohol markers for basically everything, apart from up there where I used a glittery gel pen. It was the Uniball silver one, so it was extra glittery, and then I used some Languo gel pens to add a few little dots and get rid of some black lines there as well. So yeah, pretty simple one, but a lot of fun to do. So yeah, that was Cozy Eras by Jade Summer. Then we've got some out of Coco Wire's Comfy Days, and I did this little colour palette test page, which weirdly I did right at the start of November. I think I was kind of just there thinking, right, I just want to colour a bit of something. Couldn't decide what, and I thought, oh, I'll try and look through some of my cute and cozy books and do some of like the kind of the title pages. So I've hit this one, realised I'd already done the first couple. So I thought, actually, I'll colour this colour test page. I don't always, if it's just the same thing. You know, I like it was just a bunch of love hearts. I don't necessarily bother, but being as it was different things, I thought I'll give it a go. So obviously it was quite a Christmassy page to do at the start of November, but it was fun to do. I think I just used my cheap alcohol markers on this one. Let me just double check. Oh no, I did use my Ohuhu markers. For some reason I thought I'd just use my kind of cheap ones that I got off TikTok originally. But now it looks like I used my Ohuhu, bit of white gel pen, kept quite a limited colour palette as you can see. But yeah, that was a fun, simple one to do, nothing fancy, but enjoyable. So that was Comfy Days by Coco Wire. Still can't believe that I'd not really noticed how Christmassy this cover is. Whether it's because there's not enough red on the front, but you know, there is a Christmas tree and like candy canes and all sorts. And not all of the pages are Christmassy. But I mean, even that one has got a snowman on. I only recently realised that, which is a bit silly. So I've got kind of another Christmassy book that I didn't really realise I had. So then we've got The Little Cat by Coco Wyo. And this one I did on my members only live stream, which is usually about the middle of the month. So if you're interested in becoming a member, if you click the join button, it doesn't automatically join you, but it does mean that it'll show you the different levels and what you can get for each level. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one on live stream. As you see, all alcohol markers, just did my simple shading that I normally do with letting it dry, going back in with the same colour in a few places, white gel pen, and that was it. I did try and use the same colours as best as I could from, I've done one other page in here, which I'm not going to be able to find now, am I? Might be further back. Here we go. This was the first page I did. So I realised it was the same cat driving. So I tried best as I can to use the same colours, but I hadn't written it down. So I have written it down now, at least what I did use this time. And I've also written down what I used for the ginger cat. So that if I want to use the same colours again, then I can. I mean, I might not, but at least I know now what colours kind of work. But yeah, quite like the colour palette. Tried to bring some of the orange from the cat down into the flowers and obviously up in the bird. So tried to spread the red round, just try and make it balanced. But yeah, quite like how that came out. Simple one, but like I said, a lot of fun to do while chatting on my live stream. So that was The Little Cat by Coco Wyo, which is such a cute book if you do like cats. Got another cute and cozy one here. I've got a load more coming up that aren't cute and cozy, so bear with me if this isn't your cup of tea. So then we've got Cat Moments by Hikaru Cots, and one I did here was for the Alice in Wonderland tag video that was recently done. So if you've not seen that, that's up on the channel. So it wasn't completely successful, but I did try and colour the cats a little bit like the Cheshire Cat, and then had it on there so that it's a happy unbirthday, and tried to add a bit of blue, kind of, you know, getting the Alice in Wonderland vibes. So yeah, it was tricky answering the questions and colouring at the same time. I kind of lost my trail of thought or ended up not colouring. But I'm quite pleased actually with how it turned out in the end. It's quite a sweet page, and it's always nice to get a page done, you know, while doing a video or a live stream. It just makes you feel, you know, even more accomplished. Yeah, kind of quite like how it came out. Let's say it's not the best kind of Cheshire Cat, but Cheshire Cat vibes is what I was going for. So I think it turned out okay, and it's nice to get another page done in this book, because this one is really cute again, like that little cat one. Just so many sweet scenes with the cat. I'd been hoping to do that one in the summer, but never got around to it. Yeah, some really cute ones. So yeah, there's a video up on the channel for that one if you're interested. Then we've got Merry Christmas by Hannah Carlson, and the page that I got done in this one, I'll find the tag, here we go, was this cute cat and dog page. So this one is a video up on the channel if you are a member, because this was my members only video page that I did in November. Kind of my theme is doing a live stream and a video where I'm colouring a page, and it's just got to be a page that's got a cat on. So, you know, it isn't a particular artist. For the ones for the video, I always put a poll up for my members so that they can choose from a few, you know, 2 or 3, which page they'd like to see me colour. And this was you know, the winner for this month. So I used Prismacolors for kind of all the pinky red bit, the green, all of the fur. I'm quite pleased with how the fur came out. It's not the most technical way of doing it. There's probably much better ways of doing it, but it's how I do the fur is relatively quick and simple, and I think it's relatively effective. Like, they look fluffy, so that was what I was going for. Then I used gold gel pen around the edge and in the collars, and then a shiny paint for the actual berries there. And ahed over whether to do a background, and then I thought, actually, I like it as it is. Came to the conclusion, if I added a background, I might not like it anymore. So I decided to leave it as it is. I just think it's so sweet. And I kind of thought it was cute having them, you know, matching as best as I could. It was make a sweet little couple. So that was Merry Christmas by Hannah Carlson. So then we've got Spooky Colouring by Sarah Shevchik. So I took part in the monthly tag by Christina's Art Corner, where she gives a few pages for you to choose from, you know, and the voting. This was the page that won for November. So as you can see, I did use alcohol markers. There is writing on the reverse, but I generally go with the fact of it's fine. I can still read it, and I'd rather be able to use my alcohol markers because it just makes it so much quicker and a lot more fun, at least for me anyway. So yeah, alcohol marker base everywhere, and then went in with some gel pens on the fire just to get rid of some of the black lines a bit. Trying to make it look a little bit like there was steam on the cup of tea. I'm not too sure how successful that was, but I gave it a go. And then, as you can see up on the top, I did use a few different shiny paints. They were all paints by, well, actually 2 different companies, Renaissance Paints, and then the shiny silver one is from the Art Spirits, and that's their Tin Man paint. So if you're after a really shiny silver paint, I would thoroughly recommend the Art Spirits Tin Man paint. It is absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, the other 2 are from Renaissance Paints. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that came out. I kind of started with like the bits that I knew what I wanted. So the bits that were green, I did the ground, the mountains, and then yeah, I wasn't quite sure what colour to do, like the clouds. So if you saw my whip video, you know, you would have seen this partly done. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it came out in the end, because I hadn't been sure what to do for the tent, but I quite like how it kind of ties in with the fireplace so that the colours of the fire don't stand out. I think it's kind of turned out relatively well balanced, and I did a tiny simple little bit of shading here and there with pencil, but nothing much. So yeah, that was another fun one to do. Absolutely love the art by Sarah Shevchik. I've done so much in the first spooky one, so it's nice to get some more done in this. Still need to play catch up on the characters in the first few pages, because that was I think that was August, and that was before I had the book, so hopefully I'll get those done at some point. So then we've got Fairy Tale World. So this is another one of the books that was uncoloured, by Maria Troll. I've been wanting to get my hands on it for a while, picked it up in the summer, and I finally got around to doing it. So I have got quite a few pages done in here, technically, because obviously technically this is a completed page. So what I've been trying to challenge myself to do in this Maria Troll book and Shooting Star is to stick with using my Supracolor 2 water soluble pencils. I've got more than I used to, but I have still only got this amount. I've got like the student grade, if I want to show you, the Swiss colour, which is still by Caran d'Ache, and then I've got some of the open stock, more expensive Supracolor 2s, but that's still the only ones I've got, so it's still a limited colour palette. So I've given myself the challenge of using those in Shooting Star and this one, to see how it turns out. So yeah, did that, bit of glitter gel pen, and used a silver gel pen just to go over the black lines, and then I did this one as well. So again, Supracolor 2s activated, went over some of the line work on the wings, bit of glitter gel pen to colour that bit in. So nothing crazy, but technically, it is another page done. Again, the little butterfly, same thing, the Supracolor 2s, gel pen over some of the line work. Well, then I did do more of an actual page. So this one was done on a live stream. Quite often I do tend to do cute and cozy pages on live streams, but sometimes I mix it up and do something a bit trickier. So this one was done towards the end of November, on the 28th. Pretty much finished it on live stream. There's just a couple of little details I did afterwards once it had definitely dried, of going in with like a gel pen in the centre of the flowers. That was about it, really. So yeah, I didn't do any shading. Just use Supracolor 2s activated, bit of gel pen here and there for some details, and that was it. So it was relatively quick to do. I really love how it turns out. It's Puss in Boots from Shrek, isn't it? Like, let's face it, that's the only thing I can imagine when I was colouring this page. But it was just his hands, like his paws, they just look a bit too much like hands, and once I'd seen it I couldn't unsee it. So yeah, if you wanted to see me colouring this, you could check back for that live stream, in case you're interested in how I did any of the bits. Did go in with gel pens as well on the centre of some of these leaves as well, and over like the lines over there, like the Langway ones. They're so good for going over black lines. And I tried to tie in the blue from the feather with those little blue flowers down there as well. So yeah, it was great to get, well, not even just one page, technically 4 pages done in this book, but really only one proper page, wasn't it? Let's face it. So yeah, absolutely stunning book. Hopefully get back to that one soon. So then we've got Rita Boerman's water book, the ocean one. Now this was secondhand off Vinted. Now I kind of forgot to take a picture of this before I started, but this one, the octopus was basically done. I just went back in with an orange pencil and just deepened it up very slightly, and that is basically the same colour as the person who coloured it, who owned the book before me. So the only thing I really did was the fish and all of the bubbles around the outside. So I used, I can't actually remember what pencils I used. It is a good job I wrote it down. I'm a Castle Art pencils, and obviously a couple of gel pens. And then while I'd got the book out, decided to do this one. So this one, I don't think had been coloured at all on this page. So I decided to match as best as I could the colours of the octopus from that page onto here. A little bit of gel pen, did a little bit of gel pen in the writing as well. So yeah, a couple of, quick and simple ones, but I thought at least I've got the title pages done, and then, I can colour properly in the book at some point, but it's nice to just get a couple of pages done at least. And get going on those title pages. I'm hoping to take part in the hashtag by Colouring Bumblebee next year. But I'm not actually sure how many title pages I've got to do. I'm either going to be surprised and realise there's absolutely loads, or there's not as many as I think, but I've got a feeling I've probably got more to do than what I'm expecting. But there we go. So then we've got the cutest of cute amigurumi critters. I'm still never quite sure if I'm saying that right. As you see, this was an absolute bargain price that I picked up in the summer. So I do have the title page to do in this one. Although, like, most of the book is single-sided, but this first bit isn't. So I don't know what I'll do to colour this one. Might have to be water-based markers, perhaps. But anyway, I digress. The page that I coloured in here, again, this was done on the live stream, and because it didn't take me very long, I did this, and then I can't remember what I did. I think I started another page, or oh no, that was it. I worked on it, finished off a whip. So yeah, I used my own Hoo alcohol markers for this, for all of it, and then just a little bit of gel pen, a bit of sparkly gel pen there on the crown. And that was it. Like, really quick, really simple to do, especially because there's not actually that many colours, is there? So yeah, it didn't take long at all to do, but I had to do this page first because it's the otters, and otters are my favourite. But yeah, there's so many gorgeous pages, and there is a lot that are actually quite wintry, so I don't know whether I'll get back to this one in December, but we'll see. It would be nice to, and they are relatively quick to do, so we'll see. It depends on how much time I get. So yeah, that is an absolutely gorgeous book, and yeah, I couldn't believe how much I paid for it. It's amazing. So then we've got Stitch Travelling Through the Ages. Now, I picked this one up from Lyrica. It was a few months ago, and only just got around to colouring it. It is absolutely gorgeous paper, like, it's really thick, and it's single-sided. So again, this is another one that was done on a live stream, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Like, I love the colours. I started with Stitch, I think, because obviously I knew like what colours I wanted to use for him. And then, yeah, I just picked a few different greys. And yeah, just kind of, it all came together pretty easily, to be honest. And obviously brought some of the colours from the outfit through there and into the roof. And then just went over the black outlines of the clouds again with a Languo gel pen. Bit of white gel pen details, and that was it. It always looks so weird from the back, doesn't it, when it's alcohol markers? But yeah, there's some really, I love that one. It's a look on his face, isn't it, while he's trying to pull up all the carrots. But yeah, so that was pretty quick to do, because obviously there's just massive sections of the same colour, to be honest, isn't there? But yeah, absolutely loved colouring in this. And again, you know, it was on a live stream, so it was nice chatting to people while I did it. So yeah, hopefully I'll get back to this book soon, but at least it's not uncoloured anymore, so I don't need to feel guilty about buying it. So then we've got one that I picked up from Vinted relatively recently, and I'd literally never seen before. Just scrolling through Vinted, and then this cover caught my eye, because I was like, oh, never seen this one before. So I thought, oh, is this a real book? Is it not? So I did a quick bit of research, realised it is a book. It's just one that you can't kind of buy on Amazon anymore, but you can buy it off their off Coco Wire's Etsy store. And it's just such different artwork in it. But in the end, there's a lot of weird and wonderful pages, but in the end, I think it was my daughter actually who picked this page out for me. So just did alcohol markers. I have written down the colours that I used for the girl, for her hair, her skin, and then her clothes, just in case I want to make her matching through the book. I mean, I might not, but it gives me the option. And then I used some watercolour paint. So all that sparkle that you can see is watercolour paint. So I used, I think it was just some of my cheaper watercolour paints for them ones. Yeah, it was the paints that I got from Temu there, because I didn't want to use anything too expensive. But you know what, for the price, you can't go wrong with them. Like, I would recommend the cheap paints from Temu. Like, they are really good. And it's the first time I've ever actually coloured on paper with black background, which I didn't mind too much, but it was a bit weird when you'd coloured and then, like, it just didn't look like the colour you were expecting it to until it dried. Like, because obviously it's, you know, seeping through to that. Anyway, it wasn't as bad as I thought as I was colouring on it. So yeah, that was pretty quick to do, but a lot of fun. And yeah, just such different artwork in this book. Like, just, there is a Christmas page in here as well, so I don't know if I'll get to this one. I've not currently got plans to colour it, but we'll see. It's here. You never know. If time allows, I might get to it, but I think that might be one that I get to next year. So I've only got a few left now. We've got Disney Empowering Colouring. So again, this was an uncoloured book for me. And again, if you watch my whip video from a couple of weeks ago, you will have seen this one. It's not changed massively, to be honest, since then. So I did use alcohol markers for this. It's not single-sided, but I kind of looked at what was on the back and thought, I can't see me colouring that one. So I decided to go for alcohol markers. I did Belfast chip, the flowers around the outside, nod over the books, and mainly I thought I can't be bothered with colouring all the books different colours, so that's why I just kind of used that kind of vintagey kind of colour for the background, just because I thought, well, it's better than leaving it plain. And like I said, I couldn't be bothered with colouring all the individual books, so I thought that kind of made a nice little background. And then just glitter gel pen around the edge, add a bit of sparkle to her lips as well. So yeah, pretty quick and simple. Use some Language gel pens for a bit of highlights in the hair as well. So yeah, that one was a fun one to do, and it was nice that this is no longer uncoloured. There's a lot of lovely pages in here, but there's also a lot that I look at and think, oh, I can't see me colouring that. I do quite like that one. And I think that Rapunzel one's really neat as well. Like, that's cool. But yeah, there is a lot of like quite patterned pages that, you know, probably won't get done, which is why I thought, well, if you use alcohol markers, it doesn't matter if I'm sacrificing the back, if it's a page that I wouldn't really do anyway. So then we've got another book that was uncoloured. So you see, I did have quite a good month of getting to my uncoloured books, and this was the Disney Villains colouring book. This one, again, I bought quite a few months ago. I think I got a 4 for 3 offer from, I think it might have been World Books or Books. It was some online bookshop anyway. This one, it said that it was, you know, in good condition, but there is a fair few pages, well, not loads, not enough to complain, where it has been partly coloured. But the page I decided on was, I'm going to find the page tag, this one with Lucifer out of Cinderella. Now, as you can see, it tried something a bit different. This is the page that I finished off at the end of a live stream when I had a little bit of time. I'd kind of started it and then, you know, finished it. So I used a stencil to add like the paint splatter effects in, and then thought, right, everything that's in that splatter, I'll colour, you know, different shades of blue, purples, kind of pinkish colours. And then thought it doesn't really show up enough. So that's then when I went around the outlines with some acrylic marker pens just to make it stand out a bit more. Still not sure how effective it is. I think it might have been better if it hadn't got the grey background. But it was nice to try something different and to at least have a play with my new stencil anyway. So, you know, it's a page done and I had fun doing it. There is a lot of pages in here that I really don't like. They are just far too wallpaperish. Like, there's just, look, like, they're just also patterned, also wallpapery, that I think this will be a book that I do have a bit of a play with stencils or whatever while I'm colouring it, just so that I can have a bit of a play with different things and not have to worry. So I think I forgot to mention, actually, I did use alcohol markers, so you can actually see how little I actually coloured when you look at the back. But, you know, it was fun to try something different. If you're not quite sure on how to tackle a page, then, you know, it's always an idea, isn't it? So yeah, that was Disney Villains colouring. Then we've got Creative Haven Creative Kittens. Now, this was a book that a lovely work colleague bought for me for my birthday, actually. So I've had this one since June and they just got around to colouring it. So I coloured, well, I did colour this page because I kind of, after I coloured the page that I'll show you in a second, I still got the colours out, looked at like the front bit. I thought, oh, I'll use the same colours on here. That'll turn out sweet. So this was all alcohol markers, a little bit of white gel pen, and that was it. And then the actual page that I coloured was this one. So I used a colour palette, which I thought I'd save the swatch for. I don't know where I've put that. Oh, I do. It's over here. So I picked a colour palette out of my book that I showed you earlier, and then kind of came up with some colours to, match that colour palette, and then just stuck to those more or less for the whole page, other than the greys for the cat. Like I did everything else, and then I remember I showed my daughter and I was like, I don't know what to do for the cat. Do I use one of the colours I've already got? Do I leave it white? Do I make it grey? She was like, if you leave it white, it's going to look a bit weird. If I colour it any of these colours, it'd look a bit odd as well. So she was like, go for grey. I was like, good thinking. So yeah, after initially when I started this page, I wasn't quite sure how to tackle it, but I think colour palettes are the way to go for this book, because there is a lot of detail. Like they're gorgeous pages, but there's a lot going on. But actually having just those few pens to work with, I kind of picked an element. Like I worked through some of the flowers, and then I thought, right, I'll use the blue on some of the bits that I want a bit darker, and just kind of kept chipping away at it. And yeah, I quite like how it turned out in the end. And a little bit of white gel pen, and that was it. So yeah, you see on the back, a fair bit coloured, but also a fair bit I just left white. But yeah, that was fun to do. It is detailed, but you know what, alcohol markers didn't do too bad actually on this paper. It didn't bleed too much, even saying as it is quite thin line art. So I was quite pleased about that. So yeah, that was Creative Haven, Creative Kittens book. So nice to have another uncoloured book ticked off the list. And then the very last page that I've got to share with you is the Disney Vintage Poster Collection book. And again, this was quite a simple and quick one to do. Again, it's not a single-sided book, but I kind of looked at the back and thought, I can't see me colouring that. So I decided to use my alcohol markers. So I kind of did Donald, did Chip and Dale, the fruit, and then thought I did the writing. And then I looked at it, asked my daughter, I was like, do I colour anything else? Like, I feel like if I start colouring other bits and pieces, it might look a bit strange. So she was like, no, just leave it. Husband walked in, he looked at it and went, oh, you're not doing anything more on that? I went, no, I'm going to leave it as it is actually. So that was obviously pretty quick to do because, I haven't actually coloured all that much of it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. And I think I might do that kind of effect where I just colour part of it and not all of it. There is a few other pages that I think that would work for. I really like that one. Like you could just colour Donald there and just the writing and leave it at that. There is some pages that are quite detailed. I do really want to do the Haunted Mansion one at some point because that's like our favourite ride at Disney. But yeah, kind of semi-cheating, I guess, with not colouring all the rest of it. But I thought I didn't want to do any more and then not be happy with it because I was happy with how it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you for watching to the end anyway. If you have watched to the end, if you could maybe put the love hearts in the comments so I can see how far through you've got, and maybe drop a comment down below in which has been your favourite page this month. Obviously I did get quite a lot done, which was a big surprise, and I'm not sure really which is my favourite. I do really like how this one turned out though, I must say, but then some of the pages that I showed you at the start, like the Rita Berman train one from the Asia book, that one was really cute. So yeah, let me know which was your favourite. Drop me a comment down below. Obviously please click that subscribe button if you haven't already, it would be much appreciated. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Take care and I'll catch you in the next one.